Hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm Dreamality and welcome to my review of Civilization 6. Is this game worth your money? Is it worth your time? Here's my short answer. The single player is a lot of fun. Multiplayer is fun, though at the time of this review I did run into problems. The game looks great and the game sounds great. What surprised me the most was just how accessible they made this game. They do a really great job at explaining all the game's mechanics so even someone like me can understand it. Let's start by discussing the single player. The premise of Civilization 6 is simple. You play as one of 19 civilizations and you begin in the ancient era, 4000 BC. You know, remember those days we used to run around with spears? The glory days. And then the game progresses all the way to the information age where technology is more modern and then some. I see a question in the back.
How do you win?
I was getting there, now take a seat. There are 5 ways to win the game. You can either win through a cultural victory, a domination victory, a religious victory, science victory, or a score victory.
I have another question.
I know you must be wondering what does that even mean, so let me tell you.
Never mind.
It really comes down to what you're building throughout the game. For your cities, you choose the buildings, districts, and wonders to build, and all these play heavily on whether or not you're going the cultural route, the religious route, or the scientific research route. It really just comes down to reading the description and seeing what exactly these buildings or districts or wonders will be improving. For example, I won the culture victory because I had built a stadium for my people, I built them a Sydney Opera House, I built them just a ton of stuff that made them very happy, tourism was up, I was trading with the world, and next thing I knew, I won the cultural victory. Domination victory is just going out on a rampage, conquering everyone, and a score victory is just when no one wins by any of the other ways, and it comes down to who has the most points. When you create a match, there are loads of customization options you can choose from. You can choose how many computer opponents you want and you can set the difficulty. There's a wide variety of difficulty settings, so something for everyone. Do you want to play on a large map or a small map? Do you want to play on continents or Pangea? It's all up to you. The game is very replayable and these options make it even more so. I ran into some problems with the multiplayer. There were bugs in the menus, I couldn't join games, I would randomly get disconnected from games that I was part of. Just the right ingredients for a headache. In time, I hope they can fix everything with the patch. How much fun is the multiplayer experience itself? It really comes down to who you play with. The problem I have with playing with random people is that I found myself in 2-hour-long matches, not even close to finishing, and then everyone leaves, and then it was just like that match was a complete waste of time. In comparison, playing Civilization with friends continues to be one of the greatest multiplayer experiences I've ever had. There's just something about double-crossing your friends. And whenever somebody needs to leave, we can just save the game and then continue it another day. Playing on a shared network, I didn't run into any of the problems that I was on the online multiplayer. The gameplay is a ton of fun. The map is divided into hexes. These hexes have attributes. Your city is fueled by the hexes within its borders. More food equals faster population growth, and as your population grows, so does your border. Production is represented by that tire icon, or is that a wheel? I don't know what it is. Aren't you the reviewer? Production determines how long it will take you to build your units, your buildings, your wonders, all that good stuff. Units differ in how far they can travel, how far they can attack from, what their attack power is, how great they are at defending. Once they've been in a couple matches, they actually can get promoted. I love the little details, such as traveling on flat land, you can go farther, whereas if you're going across a river or going up on higher ground, it will take an entire turn. How do you bring your unit from the spear-wielding savage to the modern-day civilized soldier? Well, this comes from everything you research, the speed of which is determined by those hex tiles as well as the buildings you choose to make. All the new players might be out there thinking, oh, this looks so confusing, there's no way I could ever understand this, you know what, I give up, I'm not going to play it, I'm not smart enough, I'm leaving. Well, actually, the game does an incredible job of explaining everything to you, especially if you start at the very beginning with just one city and a couple of troops. You're introduced little by little to all the mechanics of the game, and all these mechanics in the beginning are the same as the end, except in the end there's more to manage of it and it's built upon just slightly. So all new players, don't feel intimidated, it's an experience that can be enjoyed by all. Okay, I'm back. I love the sense of exploration with the game. There is no specific story here, but you make your own story. You make alliances, you break alliances. You choose your government, your policy. You perform trade. You choose your religion and what you feel like researching. This is the only game that if I sit down, I play it, I blink a couple times, next thing I know, 4 hours goes by. Now I'm 7 hours late for work. Time really flies in this game. There were only a few bugs I came across, but nothing major in the gameplay. Okay, gloves are off. Here's my biggest complaint. You can no longer name cities. Naming cities was always always one of my favorite parts of the experience. It made it so much more personalized. Look, I want to name a city Winterfell, okay? It's not a huge deal, but it disappoints me because it's a feature that was in the previous games. Fingers crossed that they add it eventually. I'm definitely a fan of the graphics. Everything looks very bright, very colorful, very clean. I like the map layout of the map itself. It's a nice change. And just the attention of detail to everything. The game's audio design is great. It's not in your face, bombastic. Everything is very subtle, very soothing. I love the little details of approaching a barbarian camp and hearing those drums, or the sound of discovering a village. This game's soundtrack really took me by surprise. I love the main menu theme, as well as the alternating scores within the match. It's very soothing music, and so soothing in fact that when I was playing late at night and I'm already very tired, it was putting me to sleep. But then I realized I had the responsibility of nuking people. What steals the show here is the voice acting. Sean Bean from Game of Thrones does an amazing job narrating, and Natasha Loring, who is your advisor, also does a great job. Are we at the conclusion? I think so. Take a seat. Sorry. I'm having a ton of fun with the game, especially playing with friends. It's so much fun. I hope some of you can experience that someday. I wouldn't say that there's a rush to get this game, especially since all the problems will be addressed with time. So if anything, just wait for a sale. I hope this review was helpful and thank you for watching. Can I leave now?